If there wasn't the risks, if there wasn't the dangers, there wouldn't be the excitement.
Jen was one of a record-breaking 478 climbers permitted to tackle Everest this year. 17 didn't come back alive.
A South Australian man who fought to walk again after overcoming injury has died descending Mount Everest.
A Vancouver doctor has died while on a mission to fulfill his dream.
A Seattle doctor has died.
3 Nepalese Sherpas are missing. They were on their way to the world's highest peak, the Mount Everest.
An Australian has died on Mount Everest.
Jen came face to face with the grim reality during her ascent.
It feels much more sort of a human connection to someone else's life that's just been lost when you can see their face. I sort of stopped and I was quite emotional. And I think my brain at that point part of it was telling me, this is far enough. You know, you're a mum, you've got children, you can see how dangerous it is.
When my mum said she wanted to climb Everest, I was nervous. It almost made me feel sick to the stomach initially.
It took a little bit of time before all three of them went, yeah, okay, you can do this. I'd be away for 2 months and climbing, a mountain that is inherently dangerous and risky.
But the former high school principal had more than one obstacle to overcome.
MS is a very unpredictable illness, so you never quite know the course it's going to take. I've got 30 lesions throughout my brain, and so that's all areas where the messages have slowed down, or they're impacted in different ways, and so that leads to challenges with my bladder, it leads to challenges in my processing speed, it leads to challenges in my memory. I wanted to shout from the hilltops and go, this is an invisible disability, look what I'm doing.
Just short of 9,000 metres, Everest is the highest point on Earth, and the 2-month round trip to the summit is no picnic. Temperatures can be as low as -30. Oxygen so scarce, the area above 8,000 metres is known as the death zone.
You're sleeping at night hearing avalanches, you can hear some of them coming closer and trying to decide, do I need to actually run? It's an exercise in just being comfortable being uncomfortable. 6 weeks spent in tents, in the snow, in the cold, waking up in the morning when it's dark and trying to, get dressed and do everything, and it's, well below zero.
When things go wrong on the mountain, it's Sherpas who put their own lives at risk. In May, a Sherpa guide took 6 hours to carry an unconscious climber to safety.
Over the year, we've seen a lot of experienced people try to come over to climb Mount Everest.
Funaru Sherpa has been a guide for 22 years and has summited 16 times. In 2015, 16 of his fellow Sherpas lost their lives in an avalanche. Funaru wants the government to ensure only experienced climbers tackle the mountain.
Before the people, we go through every single time people resume, at least they have to done 6,000 to 7,000 meter peaks.
So these you're looking at around $2,000. Well worth it when your toes aren't freezing and you can actually come back with all 10.
21-year-old Connor Coleman climbed Kilimanjaro 4 years ago. Next year, Everest is his target.
If you're a good tennis player, you want to be playing at Wimbledon. That's what Everest is for me.
Connor's already in the Himalayas, practicing on the slopes of Manaslu.
You're walking across ladders and it is quite literally life or death on the rope. And Manaslu is a great sort of stage to prepare you for that, as well as get exposure to high altitude, being above 8,000.
Connor is well aware of the risks Everest presents.
Death is a real possibility, and it's something that I don't think any 21-year-old should really be talking about.
Jen's climb was called off at 8,000 metres, but she's not giving up hope of reaching the top of the world just yet.
People talk about it's a drug. I've taken a shot of this mountaineering life, and it's hard, it's brutal, it's messy, it's exhausting, and I want more of it.
Nick Cody, we know you run towards adventure. You look like a little bit of a mountain man as well.
I run towards the door when Uber Eats comes. That's the maximum I run. I'm not going up Everest. No way.
What do you mean that's the maximum?
The closest I get to a mountain is a Toblerone. I'm going to lose a few toes if I keep eating those as well, so I better take it easy.
You get through to 6,000 to 7,000 peaks of them? Is that what
Yeah, next year I hope to clock one of the airport ones.
Yeah.